Welcome everyone to today's lesson. Today's lesson is all about hurdling, and you've just seen me there using the hurdle technique. Now the hurdles are two different types of events that take place in athletics. The first type of event we have is the sprint hurdles, or the high hurdles as they're known, particularly when it's for men, because they're really high, 3'6" in height, which is just over a metre in height, about 1 metre, 1m5, 1m10, something in that sort of region. And for the women it's over 100 metres, or the long hurdles, which are normally done around the track. It's still classed as a sprint event because we have to stay in our lanes. Now, over the last 2 weeks in athletics, we've been learning about the start technique, and we know that the starter's instructions are take your marks, get set, bang, in order to start the race. So we use exactly the same process in today's lesson. Now the hurdles, basically, the aim of the game is to get to the finish line as fast as possible. So it is about sprinting flat out. It is about adding the two elements to our sprint which get us to the finish line fast. Now, as you're doing this form, I've got two questions beneath me here. They say, what two elements enable us to get to the finish line as quick as possible in a sprint race? There's two things that we can manipulate. I'm going to give you a moment to have a go at that question. Well done if you've identified cadence, which is the speed at which we take steps, and stride length as the two components that will enable us to finish the race quickly. Sprint hurdles is exactly the same thing. The fewer strides that we can take from the start line to the finish line, the quicker we'll get there. The faster those steps are, the quicker we can get there. And we know, when we've done our work in previous years on sprinting, that the faster we can pump our arms, the faster our legs will go. The more controlled we can keep our body and our torso, keeping the core nice and tight, the head up, then the more controlled our running action will be, and the less wasted energy that we have for the end of the race. Now, going over the hurdles, the key point that we need to think about as a hurdler is that our hip height shouldn't be going up and down over the hurdles. We want the hip height to remain constant in order to get to the finish line as fast as possible. Now, you might be saying, well, yeah, but I've got this barrier in front of me, sir. How do I do that? Well, it's about flexibility, ladies and gentlemen. So we have to be flexible here in the hips when we run in order to enable us to get over the hurdles. The lead leg will always go over the hurdle in a straight line. The trail leg comes around the side as it comes off. It is possible in a sprint race that you're going to kick the hurdle, you're going to hit the hurdle. That's absolutely fine. You do not get disqualified for knocking a hurdle over, except if you deliberately push it over with your hand. If you deliberately push it over with your hand, then you can be disqualified. The other reason that you can be disqualified from a hurdles race is if your lead leg goes around the side of the hurdle, or your trail leg goes around the side of the hurdle. So we have to go over the middle of the hurdle, and we have to stay in our lanes. Let's just have a quick look at a couple of techniques that we use. Our lead leg, that's the first leg to go over the hurdles. What we want to do is we want to attack the hurdle in a straight line so that we're attacking with our knee. Once we've lifted our knee to 90 degrees, foot kicks forwards. Lift, kick forwards. Lift, kick forwards. If you're in today's lesson, you're going to be doing some exercises that works on that. Notice that my hips aren't raising as I do this exercise. Up, kick forwards, up, kick forwards. So my hips are staying at the same height throughout the activity. The second activity that we work on is the trail leg. Now, as we attack the hurdle, we're going to punch with our hand forwards. We call that technique punching, and that enables us to get a little bit lean. And as our body leans from the torso, we can then bring the trail leg over the top of the hurdle. Trail leg over the top. Trail leg. Trail leg over the top. So what we're looking to do each time is lean over the hurdles and push. And push. So that is again enabling our hips to stay at a constant height as we go over the hurdles. Quite often you will see top hurdlers, they will only take 3 strides in between the hurdles. And hopefully what you saw today, even though it was a junior size hurdle and a junior distance, I was only using 3 strides. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't matter if you take 4 strides or 5 strides, as long as you can get to the finish line as fast as possible. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you're joining us online, please do the 2 workouts, or at least one of the 2 workouts that I've left for you today. I look forward to seeing you when you return.